Okay, so that's the ticket. Okay, that's the ticket to hard work. Is roll your sleeves up, and if you roll your sleeves up, it looks like you mean business. It looks like you mean serious business. Okay, and if you have one sleeve down, it's like I'm relaxed, man. I'm relaxed. Okay, so work hard. This is just 6 different ways you can work hard. One, lift some heavy objects. Two, write a lot of things in a book. Write a lot of things in a book. Three, try and not think of anything, but you think of something, and you got to let the thoughts go like a movie screen, and they just go poof, 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 out of you. Okay. Four, sometimes you have to say something really difficult, and it's going to take a lot of emotional labor to get that point across in a constructive way. Okay. And six, scooping out the cat box. These are all hard jobs. Okay. These are all difficult jobs. Okay. Yeah, there's underwater plumber. There's underwater plumber. It's like which water is which. Okay. And there's underwater welder who kept getting eaten by giant squid. All right. Like they would send those guys down and they wouldn't come back up. And they're like, what's going on? And they put a camera down there and there's a giant squid. And he gobbled them up. He gobbled up those people. Okay. With its fleshy beaks. Gobbled up those people with its fleshy beaks. Yeah. So that's how you work hard. Be careful of squid, though. Okay, if you're scooping out the cat box, okay, be careful of giant squid. Okay, if you're trying to get a point across to someone, be careful if there's a giant squid there. Okay, because you still want to get the message across in a constructive way. And also, but that giant squid, okay, it initiates your fear response, and then you tend to shut down those faculties, and then you don't communicate it the best way possible, and things get misunderstood and misinterpreted just because of a giant squid. But it's not the giant squid's fault. You should have anticipated that a giant squid's always going to show up when there's a piece of hard work to do. Okay, when you're trying to meditate and there's a giant squid there trying to suck on you with its sucker arms. Okay, it's got sucker arms too, just like an octopus. But unlike an octopus is kind of friendly. But if you did die in the apartment, the octopus would probably eat you, much like those little dogs. Okay, but okay, you're meditating, you're lifting heavy weights. You try to concentrate, and if you put your back into it, that's difficult and incorrect. Okay? It's difficult and incorrect to put your back into it, especially if there's a giant squid. If there's a giant squid, it's coming towards you, okay? And you got to lift up these weights. You got to do a bunch of deadlifts. You got to do a clean and jerk. You better clean and jerk the giant squid and hope that to God that it disgusts it enough, describes it enough, distracts it enough that okay, you can run away. You got to run away at a certain radius of the giant squid because of the arms. Okay, those arms can reach out and grab you. Okay, so you got to run really fast or run at right angles, like Tron. Okay, so you got to be like like this and run away from the giant squid. Okay, because the giant squid, once it decides on a move, it's going like this, like a missile. And so you go, you deke out the tentacle. But then, did you know that every tentacle has its own brain? So it's so it's going to chase you regardless. So the advice I gave you was kind of wrong. I mean, you could try it. There's only one way to find out if you're going to succeed, and if you don't succeed, I'll never know. Except I'll know if I don't hear from you, unless you just don't want to talk to me. But if I don't hear from you because the squid gobbled you up with its fleshy beaks, then I know it didn't work. Okay, or maybe you just need to practice, but that's going to be hard to practice because there's, not many giants. Unless you're doing the hard work, then the giant squids just show up. Those are called the hard work giant squids, and they're from the etheric realm, of course, and they can giant squid you, and when you're trying to do other stuff, okay. And so, what are you going to do? There's nothing you could do. I mean, there's a bunch of guys in the boat that took an axe and tried to chop an arm off, but that just made it mad, okay? That just made it mad. And then there's the electric giant squid, okay? That it wraps around it cooks you like an air fryer, except it's like a microwave, except it's like an electricity. It does it electrically, okay? So that's what I have to say about the giant squid. Okay, it can be a harbinger of doom, okay? But doom in judgment, not doom as if everything's going to die. I mean, you could still make it past the giant squid. It's just your test to test. Much like when you got the golden fleece. Okay, there was Jason, Tony, Trevor, Elf guy, Cyclops. The Cyclops ended up joining them. Was that Odysseus? Anyway, they dressed up like sheep, and they crawled out of the blind Cyclops' what's it called, cave. But then there was also a nice Cyclops that he was going to go, and if he didn't go to his resting grounds, he would have a terrible, terrible death. And then, but he went to his resting grounds, and the other people went to face the beast at the fortress. And then he's like, well, hell with this, I'm going to go help my friends. And he ran with his fire hoofed horse, and then he managed to hold the door open of the fortress long enough for his friends to get inside, except he was crushed horribly, hence his horrible death. But you see, it was worth it because he helped his friends. And you know what made that even worse is there was a giant squid tugging on his leg the whole time. So he had multiple vectors of distraction, okay? He had the closing doors, okay? And he had the giant squid tugging on his leg, okay? The electric giant squid. So the electric giant squid was trying to cook his leg, okay? And the other people turned into a tiger and got the other thing, and there was the six-sided cheese cutter. And then they all went in, and that was a messy business because this man was trying to explain to this woman that had no agency, zero agency in the movie at all. Like I guess it was the '80s, but there's zero agency women movies right now in 2026 as well. So I mean, don't pretend that we've gone a long way. Okay, they're still writing those things. Men are still writing those movies where someone gets kidnapped and all you are is kidnap bait. Okay, I don't. So the beast turns into this sexy man version of the hero, but he has lizard eyes. But I kind of thought they were cool at the time because I mean I don't know, I thought red eyes were cool. So because I guess because I had those surgeries that turned my eyes red. Okay, so maybe I had a soft spot for beasts with red eyes. Okay, but the point is, okay, the point I think he was losing his hair. It was a giant beast that was losing his hair. It looked kind of scraggly. Like not that there's anything wrong with that. It must be hard being a beast and trying to get cast into stuff as you get older and older, and then you get the hair, and then also when you're trying to do your self tapes as the beast, there's a squid pulling on your leg. There's a giant squid because self tapes are hard. Okay, it's the giant squid self tape beast off. Okay, you got a beast off between giant squid and the beast. And anyway, so the woman resisted the beast, and then the hero came, and I guess I don't remember what happened. The six-sided cheese grater got stuck in the guy, and then he had to go get it, and he got hit. It was a sucker punch. It was a sucker punch. Okay, I don't remember how it ended. Uh, that's what. But when it comes to your town, there's two things that when it comes to your town, you gotta be aware. Okay, and that is a giant mountain fortress that flies through space and then lands and then disgorges a bunch of like soldiers, weird undead soldier armored soldiers. Like they look like bugs. They look like little like beetles. I don't remember. They got carapaces and no faces. And then there's also giant squid. Whenever it shows up, you're working hard. So maybe you could use the giant squid as a omen that you're on the right track, because the universe is trying to test you with a giant squid.